Hey everyone, welcome to another Prestige Nightfall high score guide. This week the strike is Will of the Thousands. Modifiers are going to be pretty similar to the combination I suggested for the Pyramidion, and they are Solar Singe, Extinguish, Momentum, and Match Game with a 20 times power handicap. This is really the easiest combination because Match Game isn't hard to counter, and the other modifiers, if you play somewhat carefully, aren't too much of a threat. Your goal is to have the challenge card at 3.6 times score multiplier at the very least to hit the 110,000 point threshold. For subclasses, I would recommend using Sunbreaker with the exotic gauntlet Syntheseps for Titans. If you're a Warlock, I recommend Dawnblade with Lunafaction boots. And for Hunters, if you already have a Titan and a Warlock running a solar subclass, I'd actually recommend Arcstrider with the exotic chest piece Raiden Flux to help break the shields of all those knights in the mission. Otherwise, you can just roll with Golden Gun and Celestial Nighthawk. Loadouts for this one are going to be pretty flexible. Really anything works for kinetic slot. For your secondary, I'd have one or two people go with an arc SMG or auto rifle, while at least one person is using an arc scout or something that can get pretty good range. And for heavy, in this video my teammates went with Whisper of the Worm, which is a great pick if you have it, but totally not necessary for this strike at all. I was using solar cluster bomb rockets, and if everyone uses them while in an empowering rift or behind a barricade, you can melt the boss just as fast as you can with Whisper. Merciless and Sleeper aren't bad picks either, and if you're thinking about a solar rapid fire shotgun, I would only have one person use it since it's really not ideal for the boss, but if you're struggling to kill the knights, a shotgun can really help you out. So what's the best way to approach this strike? Well, all you really have to do is kill everything, and I mean every single thing in the strike. Team shoot and focus on knights especially. You want all your teammates shooting at a knight to take him down as quickly as possible, and if you don't do that, it's going to be really tough to kill those guys. One of the problems my team had in this run is we kind of split up and didn't team shoot the knights as much as we could have, and that made this strike so much harder. You'll see in this run we had trouble in 2 rooms and lost a lot of time just trying to run around and survive, but still cleared the boss with almost 2 minutes left before the score bleed kicked in. So even if you have trouble and are kind of slow, you'll be fine because this strike is pretty short. Make use of those javelins since they're solar. I used a Dawnblade when I could have picked up a javelin later in the mission, so don't forget about those. Coordinate supers like always, and remember to pop the knight's arc shields before you try to go in with your solar super, or it's going to take more than half your super just to kill one of those guys. This wasn't our best run, but hopefully you can learn a little something from our mistakes. The strike itself is pretty self-explanatory. Just team shoot big dudes and make sure to have your super for the room with the giant ogre in it. For the boss, if you have a Warlock with Lunafactions, you can decimate his health by aiming where I do with cluster bombs. Empowering Rift is recommended but not necessary. Otherwise, you can just sit way far in the back behind some cover from his fire attack and just snipe his crit spot with Whisper of the Worm. If you have enough points, go for the one phase because clearing all the waves of adds in the final room can be a nightmare. That pretty much sums it up. Of course, there are many different combinations of modifiers you can use. I just found this one to be the easiest since these are the least punishing modifiers with the greatest effect on score. Not too much advice I can offer for this strike, but hopefully the stuff I mentioned will help you out. If it did, please let me know in the comments, and thank you all for watching, and I'll see you very, very soon.